you ever been walking through a graveyard and wondered what stories could be hiding, which fascinating historical figures may be there? Some gravestones tell a whole story, writing out the story of a life lived. Others, like this one here, tell the story of children gone before their time. Many people who live in Brockville today have family who immigrated here over 200 years ago. In the 1830s, the population of Britain rapidly increased, leading to shortages in food and jobs, causing poverty for many British families. One solution to escape was to move to Canada. Canada was the promised land of opportunity, with free land to farm and money to be made. However, for many people who settled in Canada, that was not the case. And for some people, like the British home children, it was not their choice to come to Canada. But what is a home child? A home child is an orphan or a child from a poor family who was sent to Canada through various institutions. Most of the children who arrived in Canada had been surrendered by their parents because the lack of social services in Britain made it impossible for poverty-stricken families to stay together. The children were part of a massive wave of about 100,000 child immigrants who became known as the British home children. From 1860 to the 1940s, many British children were sent with the promise of a better life. However, the truth was often quite different. Between 1888 and 1934, Brockville's Fairno home served as a receiving home for thousands of impoverished Scottish children who would only stay in Brockville for a few weeks. These children were usually between the ages of 4 and 18 who were sent to live and work in rural Canada through the Courier organization. The children were not adopted by families, but were contracted to work as laborers on farms or as servants in houses. Life was very difficult for these children. Siblings were often separated, never to see each other again. And in their placements, they were often overworked, mistreated, ill, and moved from one family to the next. Sadly, many British home children died from health-related problems or injuries from neglect and abuse that they suffered at these placements. And some children ran away to escape this abuse and were never seen or heard from again. The Fairno House still exists today as an apartment building here in Brockville, and there is a historical plaque out front recognizing this piece of local history. The legacy of the British home children movement in Canada is profound, with many Canadians tracing their ancestry to one of these child immigrants. It's also important to understand that Canada was just one of several countries that received British home children, and the Couriers was just one of several well-meaning welfare organizations to organize this forced migration of children. This monument was erected in honor of some of the children who died while in the care of Fairno Home. September 28th is British Home Child Day in Ontario. This day aims to recognize and honor the contributions of the British home children who established their roots in Ontario. It's not just gravestones that can be found in cemeteries. There's also the stories, be it the sad, the interesting, or the monuments placed in recognition of these people. Thank you for joining us for Stories from Among the Stones, and I hope to see you next time.